All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Schnick Talk Sports. Today is our follow-up video to the Eastern Conference predictions in the NBA. Today we're doing the West. I know the mic quality was very poor. It's going to be the same in this video. I'm going to look into buying a mic. I know there's one that comes with this camera. That's the one that you're hearing. I thought it would be better, and here we are. Something that I need to make crystal clear is that, again, I'm recording this video after the season has started. Now we're, almost 2 full weeks in. You got to just trust that my predictions are not being made this deep into the season. And I think you will be able to trust me based on some of my picks because I got some bad ones 2 weeks into the year. But now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and get started with number 15, and we got the Utah Jazz. Now, I got to start off by saying the West is so much different than the East. I mean, I don't think there's going to be any games all year that you can just throw away, you walk into their arena, and you know that you're getting a win. And that starts with this Jazz team. I mean, there's so much youth, so many pieces that you can put together and see a lot of development coming really quickly. And not to mention, they just got a top 3 pick in Ace Bailey. Now, the real question is what's going to happen with both Lauri Markkanen and Walker Kessler. Walker you can keep for the foreseeable future, being that he's still young and provides a lot to this young team. But Lauri's a tough one. I mean, at the end of the day, he's just too good to be on a team that's not making the playoffs. And I truly think it'll be a win-win trade for both he and the Jazz once it finally happens. At the end of the day, somebody's got to be 15, and I got the Jazz. At number 14, we got the Portland Trail Blazers. Similar to Utah, I think this is just going to be another development year for Portland, but they got so many good young pieces that I think they can really make a push in years to come. Now, the unfortunate situation is what's going on with their head coach, or former head coach at this point. If you don't know what happened, I'm not going to get into it, but essentially Chauncey Billups was arrested for a gambling situation where he was rigging poker games. Just weird, to say the least. The key with this team, though, is that they're going to be really good against, some teams that are taking them lightly throughout the season. But what they need to figure out is who's getting the ball at the end of the games. I mean, they got some good pieces like Denny Avdia, Shaedon Sharpe, and even Jeremy Grant. But who wants the ball at the end of the game and who's willing to put the team on their back? Obviously, they just got Drew Holiday. They just got Dame back, even though he won't be playing this year. But at the end of the day, you can't expect this team to make the playoffs, but give them 2 to 3 years and they could be legit. Number 13, I got the Phoenix Suns. It's really crazy to see the torrential downpour that has happened to the Suns team since making the finals in 2021. After trading Kevin Durant, I just can't see them doing anything, really. I mean, I'm interested to see the pairing of Jalen Green and Devin Booker. Obviously, Jalen Green's still out at this point. I'm interested to see how Dillon Brooks helps their team defensively and as that kind of glue guy, but at the end of the day, this team's not going to win very many games, and if it weren't for them having Devin Booker, they might have been at number 15. The weird one for me is that they have 3 centers that all deserve to have minutes, and I just don't get what their point in doing that was. They signed Mark Williams, they traded for Nick Richards last year, they drafted Kamal Malawach. I mean, what are we doing? All 3 of these guys probably feel that they deserve to start, and I can't say that any of them shouldn't. Not to mention, a week into the season, they haven't even started a center. I mean, they're starting Iso Ogadara, who is a power forward, although he is 7 feet tall. But it just makes the situation even more weird for me. At number 12, I got the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, it goes without saying that Zion is the absolute X factor of this team. I mean, they traded away Brandon Ingram. They traded for Jordan Poole. But at the end of the day, if Zion is not the absolute superstar that we expect him to be when he's healthy, then this team is going absolutely nowhere. With that being said, though, there's a lot to like about this team. I mean, now that Zion's finally cut his weight back to even before his Duke days, I mean, there's a lot of potential with this team. We're looking at Trey Murphy to see if he can transform into some Paul George type wing. We got DeJounte Murray coming back later into the year, hopefully trying to make an impact on a playoff push. And then you have Jordan Poole, who really can facilitate the offense, and we'll see if he can step up into that starting point guard role on a decent team compared to the Washington Wizards last year. At number 11, we got the Memphis Grizzlies. This is an interesting one for me because I really don't know how well they're going to do. At the time of recording, this is one day after the Grizzlies lost to the Lakers in the first game of the NBA Cup. And it wasn't looking pretty for them. I mean, they were up 14 at half. They didn't do very much to prove that they had any sort of consistency in the second half, and not to mention the team just suspended Ja Morant for a game after essentially blaming the coaches on everything after the game, which is not a good look. But the two pieces to look forward to throughout the season for me is, number one, what their identity is going to be with their new Finnish coach. I mean, it's a completely different style than Taylor Jenkins last year, and I was going to say we'll see how they respond to his coaching, but if it's anything like Ja, it's going to be a problem. The other one is to see how their young guys develop. I mean, they have a lot of young talent that are looking to produce now, and the Grizzlies are going to need them to in order to make the playoffs. We're talking about Zach Edey, Jalen Wells, Gigi Jackson. It's going to be rough if they're not turning into stars in their roles. Not to mention that they just traded away Desmond Bane in the offseason, but they got 4 first-round picks for it. So are they tanking? They shouldn't with Ja and Jaren Jackson Jr., but, I mean, I guess they can with those picks. At number 10, we got the Sacramento Kings. What a weird team this is, to be honest. I mean, we got the Sacramento Bulls at this point, just getting DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine back together. But I think the emphasis is going way too far away from Domantas Sabonis. I mean, it's very obvious that he can be one of the best centers and just players in the NBA if you watch him play. And if they could just put him into a Jokic role where he's facilitating the ball out of the mid-post, I mean, they could have their whole offense run through him and have a lot of success, but you can't do that with DeMar DeRozan on the team. I do love their additions of Dennis Schroeder and Russell Westbrook. I mean, I think both of them are going to be good spark plugs for that team that's going to need it. But at the end of the day, I mean, the ball's going to go to DeMar DeRozan whether anybody likes it or not. And in order for them to be successful, they have to initiate Domantas Sabonis as the number one option. And we'll see if that ever happens this year. At number 9, we got the San Antonio Spurs. Yeah, this is a rough one. They're 5-0 right now, so maybe a bad prediction to start the season. But you never know. It could be a fluke. What I will say, though, is I don't want to say I was hating on Wemby, but I was definitely upset that people were putting him in top 5 and top 3 conversations, where after last year, I didn't even think he was top 10 yet. But then I saw their first game against Dallas, and I said, okay, he's top 3 right now. I mean, Hakeem Olajuwon has made this guy into an absolute demon. I mean, the footwork, the ability to move in and out of the post. I mean, his handles are unbelievable. That did come from Hakeem, but maybe a little bit of Kevin Garnett. Who knows? But this guy's an absolute problem, and it's getting to the point where it doesn't even matter what's on his team. He's going to carry. That's it. My big question for the team is what they're going to do with their backcourt trio of Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, and De'Aaron Fox when he comes back. I mean, all 3 great players. We got, the Rookie of the Year last year. We have Dylan Harper, who's looking to become the Rookie of the Year this year, and then you have De'Aaron Fox, who's an all-star. So what are we doing? I mean, all 3 of them are point guards, so obviously you got to throw one of them at the shooting guard, and at this point it's probably going to be Stephon Castle, but are you just letting Dylan Harper rock off the bench? Because I think he's too good to be doing that, if I'm being honest. This is also the first full season of San Antonio Spurs basketball without Greg Popovich, so we'll see how their new coach can adjust to taking over the team, although he, did a pretty good job last year, even though they didn't even make the play-in. But we'll see what they can do this year, and clearly it's been good to start. At number 8, we got the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, this top 8 is where it gets interesting. I mean, I feel pretty good about having these 8 teams in the top 8, but where they actually finish, who knows? I have the Clips this low mainly because of how old they are. I mean, I don't know if there's a single player on the team under 28 years old that will actually have solid rotational minutes, and we know all about Kawhi's health at this point. I mean, James Harden is a phenomenal regular season player, but if they're all going, they're going to be a great team, and they easily could have the best bench in the NBA run by Chris Paul, but we got to see. My big question is, once it gets to the playoffs, does anybody really matter on offense outside of James Harden and Kawhi Leonard? I mean, we have to know that they're getting the ball every possession. So what happens to all these solid players like Bradley Beal, Brook Lopez, John Collins, guys that have been stars in their roles that are just now basically going to become irrelevant on offense? Number 7, we got the Dallas Mavericks. Now, again, this one is tough. I mean, this is easily a team that has very high odds to win a championship this year, But it's really just going to come down to how well do they play when Kyrie comes back, and more importantly, how healthy can they stay. Again, we're 2 weeks into the season. AD's already hurt. Derek Lively's already hurt. Daniel Gafford's already hurt. I mean, Kyrie's obviously still recovering from his ACL. So it's looking like it's a problem right from the jump. Now, in my notes, I had how long until they moved D'Lo to the bench and put Coop at the point guard. And what do you know, they did it the first game of the season. So kudos to Jason Kidd. But Coop's got some work to do with his ball handling skills and overall just becoming the primary facilitator for a team where he didn't have to be at Duke. Like I said in my intro video, Anthony Davis is my guy. I mean, I'm rooting for him. I'm praying for him. I hope he gets healthy. I hope he stays healthy as much as he can. And although I am a Lakers fan, I really do want to see this team do well. I mean, they got multiple Duke guys, multiple ex-Lakers. I want to see them succeed. At number 6, we got the Los Angeles Lakers. And this is how you know this video is not biased. Because if it were me, I would have loved to say the Lakers were getting number 2 or 3 seed. But it's just not realistic, especially with LeBron out. At the end of the day, I could do a whole hour-long video about the Lakers, so I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. Luka is a problem to the rest of the league. I mean, we could legitimately be looking at an MVP season. He's only played 3 games this year, and he's already had 3 40-point games, including multiple almost triple-doubles, and we haven't even talked about Austin Reeves yet. I mean, a 51-point, 10-rebound, 9-assist game? Are we serious? And that's not even talking about his 28 points and 16 assists with a game winner against the Timberwolves. I mean, what are we doing? Now, I got to be honest, a lot of people were hating on the free agent pickups for the Lakers this offseason in Jake LaRavia, Marcus Smart, and DeAndre Ayton, but I was rooting for them. I had high hopes, especially for Marcus Smart and how he would bounce back and forth with Jared Vanderbilt, and it's been really promising so far. I really hope that we finish higher than the 6th seed, but I know the Lakers pretty well, and I know that they lose a lot of games that they shouldn't, especially late in games, but it's been a different story this year. I mean, they've looked really, really good in the 4th quarter, especially last game against Memphis. I'm interested to see how Austin Reeves begins to play once LeBron is back. I mean, I've been the biggest Austin Reeves advocate there is, but I'm definitely interested from seeing him go to 50 points with almost a triple-double to become the 3rd option again and seeing how he maneuvers through that. At number 5, we got the Golden State Warriors. Oh, man. You don't understand how much it pains me to say that the Warriors are going to finish higher than the Lakers. I hope I'm so wrong. But the Warriors have always been a good regular season team. I mean, they're super cohesive with Steph, Draymond, and Jimmy, and obviously having Steve Kerr. It's going to be a problem, and I absolutely hate that they're getting top 3 or 4 championship odds because I don't see that at all. But this team is going to be good, and there's nothing anybody can say about that. One thing that I'm super interested to see how it plays out is this whole Kuminga contract situation. I mean, he sat out for pretty much the entire offseason looking for a new contract. The Warriors weren't budging. He wasn't budging, and so they finally agreed on a 2-year deal with a team option in the 2nd year. So I'd be shocked if he wasn't gone by the 2nd year. Now that he is under contract for this year, though, how is that going to affect the locker room? I mean, Steph was basically shrugging it off around media day, saying that he's not worried about what anybody's saying other than Kuminga in the locker room. But you got to expect Kuminga to be demanding the ball a lot more given his stance on his contract, and I guess we'll see what that means late in games. The other thing to be interested in is when Steph's having an off night, because he will, who's going to be the guy offensively? You would like to think it'd be Jimmy Butler, but he really likes to pick and choose his battles as far as that goes, and I don't know if Kuminga's ready to be the number 1 guy when Steph's not ready. For number 4, I got the Houston Rockets. Now, Houston is a force to be reckoned with. I mean, their trade for Kevin Durant was absolutely excellent. It was time to move on from Jalen Green. Dillon Brooks only provides so much to a team, and we all know Kevin Durant's that guy. The problem that arose from the Kevin Durant trade is there is no backcourt. I mean, we got Amen Thompson and pretty much nobody else. I'm definitely excited to see Reed Shepherd's progression this year. I mean, I thought it was an absolute shame that he was in the G League pretty much all year last year after being a lottery pick. But now he's going to have a pivotal role on this team, especially since Fred VanVleet is out for the year with an ACL tear. There are so many front court players on this team that all deserve great minutes, if not starting minutes, and it's going to be a lot for Ime Udoka to handle as far as figuring out this new rotation and just starting a bunch of bigs in the starting lineup. With Amen now essentially taking over the point guard duties of this team, it's going to be really interesting to see how much of a facilitator he can become when all these guys need the ball, but somebody's got to give it to them. Similar to Sacramento, you would like to think that they could run Alperen Şengün in that Jokic role where he will be facilitating out of the paint in the mid-post. But with Kevin Durant, I mean, you expect him to have the ball more often than not, and it's going to be interesting to see who's really doing the most of the facilitating and if Amen Thompson is ready for it if his number's called. One little footnote I have is that Jabari Smith Jr. just signed a massive contract, and he's got to produce if he wants to show that that contract was worth it, because I don't think he's done nearly enough yet to prove that he deserves the money he just got signed for. At number 3, I got the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, Anthony Edwards is a guy similar to Wemby that I'm just not very high on. I mean, I love the guy. He's super entertaining to watch. He's hilarious. But I hate that people are considering him as a top 3 to 5 player in the NBA because, in my opinion, he's not close. I mean, the dude is a prolific scorer, and he showed that he can shoot the ball with just about anybody, but it can't just run through him the whole time. I mean, they have to have these role players doing their job, and I don't know that he's the facilitator they need him to be, especially with Mike Conley getting up there in age. I do love how Julius Randle is going to play this year. I mean, Ant's surely going to be double covered most of the game, if not every game, and Julius Randle is a force to be reckoned with offensively, and he's going to get the ball a lot, and he's going to score a lot too. So watch out for him to potentially make an all-star game this year. This team looks super deep and super ready to be one of the best defensive teams in the league again. And after coming off of 2 Western Conference Finals in a row, I wouldn't be shocked to see them back there this year. At number 2, we got the Denver Nuggets. Yeah, you're looking at the best player in the NBA. Matter of fact, the guy who's been the best player in the NBA for the last 5 years maybe. I mean, Nikola Jokic is that guy. He should have won MVP every single year, and I'm tired of the disrespect for this guy. I just saw Danny Green put out his top 3 players in the league on one of the new analyst shows, and he said Giannis, Wemby, and Shea. No Jokic. I mean, are we serious? What are we doing? This is a similar situation to Memphis last year because, honestly, they fired their coach for some reason right before the playoffs, and now we got to see if he's the guy for this year. I mean, the team is going to be great. They just traded for Cam Johnson, which is a fantastic trade, and I'm interested to see how their depth starts to really produce this year, and I'm talking about Christian Braun. And that's also talking about Aaron Gordon, who potentially could be an all-star this year. I mean, he's been phenomenal on both ends of the ball. And finally, at number 1, we got the Oklahoma City Thunder. I mean, does much need to be said? Shea is the MVP, Finals MVP. He's only going to get better this year. You could say the same for the rest of the squad. I mean, they didn't make any key additions or subtractions to the team, and they're all an extremely young team, so I'm looking for big jumps from both J-Dub and Chet Holmgren. The big thing to look out for is the championship hangover with this team. I mean, they are very young, so in my opinion, I would like to think that there wouldn't be much of one because they're still going to be hungry for more, but I guess it's yet to be seen. And there you have it. That's my predictions for the Western Conference in the NBA this year. I'm excited to see how my predictions play out, especially that San Antonio pick. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Subscribe, leave a like, and we'll see you in the next one.